has been organized by the Research Foundation of India in association with Parul University, Gujarat. This event has been sponsored by Shodh Malwa, Eklavya University, JHCRF, ARGA, and Education Academic Inc. For our third day, we have our expert, Dr. Deepak Agrawal sir. Talking about Sir, Dr. Deepak Agrawal Sir is a renowned academician and finance expert with 30 years of experience. Meanwhile, 7 years in corporate and 23 years in teaching. He holds a PhD in management finance with a research focused on IPO pricing. He has published 44 research papers and presented 12 papers at conferences. Currently, Sir is the director of Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Technology and Management, Indore, where he has implemented innovative teaching methodologies. He is recognized for his contribution with awards and honors, including recognition from Mrs. Sumitra Mahajan, the former Speaker of Lok Sabha. He is active in academic community, serving in various roles and participating in skill development initiative. Sir remains an active participant in the academic community, serving as an executive member of Research Foundation of India, Indore chapter, and the member of Circular Economy Club, Boston, USA. With these words, I welcome Sir to teach us and to guide us on our today's topic. Heartily welcome, Sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It's always been an honor to be the part of RFI. And I am just very sorry for a delay due to the traffic conditions. I have requested so that I can start a session little bit late. So participants, I'm again extremely sorry. So I was just going through the contents. As such, in the previous 2 days, I hope that you have gone through the various of the things related to what is literature review, then how to design a systematic literature review. Although some of the portions I have included in this slide, so I will move fast in those slides. I hope that you have already gone through that. In case of even some query exists, you can ask in the later set part of the session. So the topic which we are going to cover today, that is the tools for writing literature review, including some of the AI tools. So I hope that you are very confirm and confident that what literature review is all about. So simply talking upon that, you can't move without a literature review, because literature review provides the fundamental base to your theory or to your questions, research questions which comes to your mind. And that's why the literature review has been most important. Secondly, literature review provides the support to your judgment, to your decisions, which want to justify or you want to present with your work. Can you see my PPT on your screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So these are some of the important contents we are trying to cover up in our session. So as per the concept and definition, we know that what is a research problem ultimately comes in the interrogative format, and it is the thing what we actually wants to get the answer about this problem. And as per the definition of Klinger, they say that it is a statement. They try to ask what relations exist between the two or more than two variables. So ultimately, we want to determine the gap which exists in our study. May not necessarily that gap may exist in the world. So we always put a statement that as per the research questions papers gone through us, we have determined the following research gap, and that provide a valuable base or a base for our research study. So that is why the literature review is most important. Again, why to have a research problem? I hope you have gone through that it is a source for a clear problem in order to do the research that contributes to the new and relevant insights. It is again the first step towards knowing exactly what you will do and why you will do. There are three types of research problem, that is theoretical, applied research, and the action research. I'm not going to cover more of this. That's why I'm escaping the slides at the faster rate. I hope that you have already gone through it. Not as a theoretical research problem. This is normally the problem we try to identify in research work. It may be in the exploratory by nature, and it provides the base or a definition to our problem statement. Second is applied research problem. That means they are being considered as non-systematic problem. It involves the practical use of the theories which is defined or maybe developed, model developed by yourself. So it is having more practical orientation. It is well suited in terms of engineering, medical, where they actually want to come up with certain solutions. Third one is the action-based research problems, in which the immediate involvement, immediate actions are being required to be taken care. Then the standards where we have gone through the steps
No,
in
sir, we can't hear you.
identification. Yeah. So these are the standard of steps involved in it. That is identifying the subject, problem definition. In the step 3, we'll go with the literature review, then design, subjects, data collection, data gathering, analysis, implications, conclusions, recommendations, and finally, publication of our research work. These are the some of the steps involved in it. So statement of the problem in the general way, understanding the nature of the problem, surveying the available literature, developing the ideas through discussions, and rephrasing the problem and in working proportion. Now the question comes to our mind that why we are going with these slides. Definitely literature review try to identify our research questions which or the questions which comes to our mind, and we want to find out the answer or the probable solutions to those research questions so that the outcomes are beneficial towards the society. So this is the first point, the step what we were discussing. That is the statement of the problem in the general way. How to define? So problem identification is the first step. How to go move ahead? So there is a generalized concept. You see the first example. Does the negative news interest people more than the positive news? So this is the problem. We are going to identify that negative news attracts more as compared to the positive news. But this is having a wider scope. We need to narrow it down. Under narrowing, we need to reframe the problem, and the question may be rephrased as, does negative news, now we are defining, such as, we are restricting also, such as robbery, corruption, interest people more than the positive news like country's economic growth. So with rather than the wider scope, we have narrowed the scope of such type of problems. So this is how it is required to define the research problem. The second step comes, that is understanding the nature of problem, and it can be done through two ways. Number one, can be with the help of discussion, and secondly, the same thing to be discussed with the knowledgeable people, learned people who is having the related knowledge to your problems, so that you can get the meaningful outcomes. May not be the solutions, but at least some meaningful inputs can be there, meaningful outcomes can be there. So in the second step, we need to understand the nature of problem. Further can be discussed that this problem is suitable, the nature of this problem is suitable to a mass, or it is helpful to the specific community, or you are trying to identify to get the solution for yourself only. Here we need to redefine the questions which comes to our mind. So we have identified the problem, we have discussed the problem. The next steps comes, that is we need to now look over the contents, which is to be known as surveying the available literature. Earlier days, when the internet facility was not so available, majorly the sources of the literature were with the printed journals, which were well limited. Secondly, magazines. Thirdly, newspapers, articles. And fourthly, that is the thesis on which the some studies has been done earlier. Now, this thesis used to be available in library, particularly university libraries. So again, become a difficult task to identify because no online data source was available. So we need to go to certain university, try to identify through that card system and find it out that this particular topic is related or available in it in their library or not. But with the development of the computer, internet-based technology, and all the available literatures now available through online sources, the things has become very, very, very easier. Most of the journals they now come in both of the modes, online, offline. Online journals are easily accessible. So it is very, very convenient for us in nowadays present environment to survey, to collect the data, to go through the papers, literature related papers, so that we can work in the faster manner. So, under conducting the literature survey, why we need to do? So, it helps number one to narrow down the problem. So, ultimate question is coming to our mind that why we are going for the literature survey. So, the probable answer to that question that is it narrow down the problem, just like what we have seen in third slide. Second is to identify research gap. I have already covered up that these gaps need to be identified and to be justified. Finally, you can work on that particular gap. I repeat, that gap may exist, may not exist. But as per our study, as per our knowledge, this particular gap exists. I assume that there is no such facilities available to the rural women who are living in the very deeper part of our city, of our district in rural area. So this is the gap I have identified. I have gone through the studies and find out only 2 or 3 nearby villages had been covered, but the particular 2 or 3 villages there was no study has been made over there. So we identify that particular area location. Then the topics can be identified in the similar manner. So literature supports us in identifying the gap. Third, it helps in creating the new ideas in that particular area. You can always give your input and it can be taken care by your juniors or any other person who want to carry over with this idea. And literature review also provide a base in determining the research design methodology. Which type of models the earlier researchers have implemented that can be determined with the help of literature review only. The fourth step comes upon that is developing the idea through discussions. So discussion is can be a one always the fruitful way. You can even discuss with the experts and those who are not related to it. You will get the distinct views from all of them. Try to filter this information and use the related information which is helpful to you. Second part, that new ideas can be generated by such exercise and researcher must discuss their problem with their colleagues and others who have enough experience in some area or working with similar problems. Just like I want to talk upon the impact of the increase in the price of gold to the Indian economy. So what I should do? I should try to find out the earlier studies. I may find some of the related article, may not be. If not so, then we can discuss with our subordinates, our colleagues and other experts. They will give the insights, input, and we can come up after doing some, applying some tests and techniques. We can go ahead with a conclusion. Another problem may exist. Let me assume the today's price of the gold to be rupees 1,07,000. I don't know what is it, but let me assume. So, what are the reason behind the increase in the price of the coal. Simply putting one line statement is not efficient enough. Probable answer is due to increase in the demand, the prices of the gold increases. No, that is not the sole reason. There may be n number of reasons. So what are those reasons? What other authors thinks upon? We need to identify these thoughts with the help of the literature review only. So an art of writing a literature review, we know it very well now in past two sessions, you know that literature review is simply analysis of the published data, papers, literature on the particular topic, which helps in classifying, summarizing, comparison, and evaluation of the work you are looking for. In short, I once again repeat that literature review is nothing. It is simply a way, a tool which provides us a basis for classification, summarization, comparison, and evaluation of the work, which also includes the model or demonstrate the data which has been came from the various theories developed by the earlier researchers. I've already discussed that why we need to move with the research. So these are the similar answers. That is, we need to actually identify the gaps which exist conducting the research. This is the process of literature review, and our topic is trying to identify the tools because you have already gone through the process. I repeat, in the step first, number one thing, the first thing comes to our mind, that is what are the research questions? Why we need to do the research? What are the topics related to it? This all must comes to your mind. After identifying the research question, the next question comes to our mind, that is review discipline style. Which particular segment you want to conduct the research? The research area may be elaborated. The same research may have different objectives, different outcomes related to your area. Maybe I'm trying to find out the solution particularly related to finance. Someone from you may be trying to identify or thinking about the human aspect. Some another person may be thinking about the government-based aspect, that is the public relations. There may be many of the things. So which discipline style we want to adopt, which is beneficial to our work, to be determined with the help of this literature review. Third steps come, that is searching the literature. So we need to identify the various sources. We do understand to the present scenario, internet is the one of the best source. Simply you put the filters along with the topic and you can see the lakhs and lakhs of pages in front of your screen. You can simply download those papers or the journals, magazines, and you can proceed with your work. Okay, in present scenario, that is the most easiest and convenient mode of getting the research papers. But at the second side, the authenticity of those data is equally important. You need to check out thoroughly that these papers are authenticated. The journal listed or general website is been authenticated or not, because just like we know that there are the many clone journals operating. Now we are submitting our paper, might be transferred to a clone journal. We are expecting the paper maybe get permission published in next 2 or 3 days. We are very happy, but later comes to know that is a fake journal or it has been moved out from that particular website. In case if we got the paid publication, there is a huge loss to financial loss to us. So how to identify the various sources are available, just like we have Calrex, a Web of Science, and a Calvert. These are the some authenticated websites through which you can just simply put your query. The various search engines are available. They will try to identify and let you know that this information is authenticated or not. Now, once you have collected the lot many of the research papers, it is equally important to manage your resources. Now there are, it can be on any ways. It can be on the basis of your objectives. It can be basis of the historical analysis. It can be international studies, can be national studies. So there can be main classification and sub classification. It all depends on your requirements, on your uh, length of the work. So manage your references. Secondly, it is equally required because we need to discuss the same contents in the discussion chapter. So it is better, whichever papers you are referring, if you think that these papers may be suitable to you, do two exercise simultaneously. First, come up with the manage the contents which you are looking care, maybe the objective, maybe the tools used for the analysis. And at the second side, what you should do, reserve this content for the discussion chapter. So this is how you can save time. Then analyze the paper effectively, critically, and evaluate. Okay, whatsoever the discussions are coming from those papers is been suited for your requirement or not. I quote an example. I gone with a study in my PhD work, and whatever the test they have applied, that is the statistical tool they applied, that was based upon this futuristic analysis. My study was historical by nature, gone through several hundreds of papers, but not a single paper have included the historical study. All of them were talking about the future related data. And that was not my objective in my paper. After carefully reading more than 500, 600 papers, some I was revising, going, then sometime I came to know in the earlier time, maybe just when I started with my thesis work, one of the paper I have gone through, published by some Indian author, and was having authenticity. That model was suitable for me, and that was the only single model available at that time. This is how we can evaluate, that is, it is how we can synthesize the things, and which has been useful to us, we will incorporate it. Rest of the things we can ignore it. And finally, you are ready with all your tags, contents, you should move ahead with the literature, writing the literature review. So these are the definitions I am escaping. Now, next part comes, that is they are using a text line, that is the text word, that is a smart catchword. So how to work in order to save the time? This is another source, and it has been adopted from LibGuides. It's a USA based website. So what this says, that in order to work for the literature review, you should always try to act smart, in which S starts for the source. The source should be well known, reliable, and up to date. Always nowadays recommended that when you go with the literature review, the latest data should be incorporated more wisely rather than the older data. Rather than we should go with the reverse chronological order, unless and until we are not very interested to move ahead with the history. We can go with the development phase, just like in the introduction chapter. Then you can start with the historical development, maybe 17, 18, 19th century, so whatever, so on. So there, the historical progress has been okay. I am talking about the development of the stock exchanges in India. So here, not necessarily required that I should go with the initial papers, because huge data is available towards the development of the stock exchanges. 1875 to 2025. Approx 200 years data is available. So you can go in the historical manner. But in some another case, if you want to study the impact of the corona on or by applying some particular medicine, what is the impact on the corona disease, how many patients have been cured by that particular this injection dose, that can be done. So in that case, you can go with the reverse studies, chronological order, reverse chronological. So go through your guide's expectation, try to fulfill. In case if you are publishing in the international journals, they usually prefer that you must get at least the latest data first, and then you can move back. Secondly, some second point comes, that is the motivation. Why this website exists? Are they really selling a product to earn a money, or they are supporting to a particular lobby? So you need to identify these causes. There are many sites which are providing, which are charging for your publication. But why they are charging? We need to identify the reasons. Are they really selling out your product in the market? Because see, we used to transfer our copyright to the website or the publisher once we are submitting the paper. They ask for an agreement so they can use, reuse, and reuse your published data. We have given them the permission. We paid it to them. We submitted our paper, and even that we have allowed them to reuse or to we can have a commercial use of that data. So in those cases, we need to motivate, we need to discuss, and if required, you can simply refuse to give the transfer of copyright of your work. Next, third element comes, that is the authority A. It is the name on the page. Is the author well known in the field? So whenever, many of the times it might possible, just like if you are going with the literature review, so we need to identify the source author. In marketing, there is a name, Philip Kotler. Those belongs to management area, they might have heard this name. So it is a personality, it is a brand. We will always try, once we gone through this name, okay, Philip Kotler reference has been there, that is highly authenticated references we are getting. Warren Buffett, this is the brand value in terms of capital investments. Okay, whenever we go with this name, there will be a hope that we are getting the very useful information. Step 4 comes, that we should always review or check the other workings in the field. Identify, cross-check whatever the author has included in his or her work. Cross-check that their work is been authenticated or not. Might be possible they have gone with a summarization without applying any testing or any statistical tool, and they have gone with a conclusion. So check it out. In such cases, avoid using such type of papers or reviews where you cannot have a adequate support for that work. So, and the last one is the T stands for two sources. That is the information supported by other reliable sources. If it is supported by other sources, authenticated sources, yes, you can proceed. What can be other reliable sources? Maybe published by some data published in some books as a part of referencing, or maybe in some general referencing it has been there. So cross-sectional referencing can be done. This is another element that I've already discussed, that once we are doing the conducting a literature review, it is helpful at the time in the discussion section. Writing review papers. I hope yesterday you might have gone through this part. So we basically classify the whole of the work into three broad categories. That is preparing for pre-review or the pre-research, planning for the research publication review. Then once you are writing the literature review, that is during research, and after research that is already been conducted or done. So here are the some keywords again that literature review includes, that is review. I am escaping this slide also. Now, what about the structure of review? It is somewhat similar to your thesis. So your review can start with introduction. There may be few lines assigned to this. An outline relates to the purpose of writing the review. So there is a research gap. There are research questions. Considering those questions in mind, you can justify that these are the probable questions to you, and we are trying to identify the current study or literature in through literature review. The studies exist in nature, and we will proceed to with the our research question or try to identify the solution to our research question. So there should be an outline. May not be published, but it should be in front of you. State the need and importance of the topic for review. Always your review must align, or your content should always align with the topic of your work. Again, here also we need to focus that whatever the review we are going to include must align with your title, research question, objective, sub-objective, or maybe hypothesis. It must be aligned with that. Discuss intensively related to the scope of review. Justify why you have considered these studies only, because there may be more number of studies available. The criteria used for selection of literature, that is the type, source, data, range, duration, should also be very, very clarified. What are the modes of selection? So we assume in present scenario that we highly are dependent upon the online research tools. But there are on-sites also. Just like I can talk about just like JGate. It is an authentic source where there are n number of journals are listed. You can apply the filter, identify your related topic. You can get the things downloaded if it is freely available, or you can pay a price for it and you can download the content. But accessing through just like JGate is an authenticate source. You can access the libraries in IITs, IIMs. So they will provide you the authenticated source from where the download data can be downloaded. Draw conclusions. In the literature review, later stage, we need to come up with the conclusions. The conclusions can be related to objective basis. Objective A was to identify, when the conclusions say that this is the outcome of our study. Or the conclusions can be on the subtopic basis, particularly in terms of when you are in the thesis writing, the conclusion can be elaborated. Then using of grammatical check, punctuations, etc. And the various softwares are available. If not, so we can discuss in the last part of our discussion portion. And and above all, at the end, check the plagiarism. So what is plagiarism? Ultimately copying some another works and pretending and presenting in your work just like you have identified, you have written that complete content. Simply copying someone else's idea or content and presenting in your work as it is of your own is to be known as plagiarism. Copyright violation comes under it. Many movies we have seen, the original song belongs to some Arabian country, maybe some American country, and it has been finally written in Indian language, Indian tarka, and then it has been presented and the song become or the movie become very, very successful. Sometimes when the things are being identified, the originator claims that they have not taken the permission. As such, it is violation of Copyright Act. So, plagiarism provides a way to overcome such things. We can discuss again later part of this presentation. Now, the step one, that is the topic selection. Topic can be managed with time frame, establish research questions, and discuss about the broader and narrow terms. I hope again these questions have been covered up. That is selecting the sources of information. So again, speeding up. The various sources can be books, journals, magazines, theses, dissertations, case studies, conference papers, electronic prints. digital media, government and industry reports, internet sources, dictionaries, encyclopedias. They are the various sources from where you can get the basic information about your research. So the next step, just like we have discussed, that you need to search and refine the work. So these are the another websites what I am talking upon. There may be the Google Scholar, maybe UNASA, SSRN, then Shodh Ganga. So they are the website which holds a huge reservoir for the journals, so with the research papers. Approx all area is included in it. So again, you can refer them, apply the required filters, and then you can just try to access on focus on only the related paper you actually looking for, leaving out all the additional information out of the things. So what to use? In such cases, we can apply filter engines. So you can use in filter like the words add or not, wildcards, logical brackets, etc., etc. So here you can filter and revise your search so that you can save time as per the requirement. Next steps comes, that is the read and analyze. Group the source into themes and sub-themes of your topic. As you read widely but selectively in your topic area, consider the themes or issues which are connected to your sources together. So try to correlate with same thing with research solutions and research answers. You must have some questions to your mind. Do they present one or different solutions? Does the review provide the same insights or same output which you are looking for, or some different is coming from that? Is there an aspect in the field of missing, something is missing that we should try to identify? How well the things are presented and material do they have portrayed according to the appropriate theory? So enough justification to your work has been required, and that has been supported with the help of the literature review. Do the reveal or trend in the field, whatever you come out with a conclusion, are they really meaningful or not? Is it a ranking debate? There must be some questions coming which must be coming to the mind of others also, and there a discussion can be there in order to have or to get the better solution. Pick one of the things to focus the organization you want to review. These are the some of the things. So this was the pre-review study. Moving to the next, that is write the literature review. We have already provided a base. We have created the base for the literature, and now we have collected the enough material to write a review. In the next step, now we are starting with the writing the review. As we have seen that three basic elements have been there. First part, that is the introduction. In review, it can be a part, single page, half page, or maybe two few pages. Further carried over with the body text. All sub-classification, main classification, all must come under this portion. And finally, like other chapters, the literature review also must end with the summary to get the insight what actually you have included your literature work or literature review. Because the readers, the users of your information may do not want to get inside the literature review what you have been talking upon. So with the help of this summary, they can try to understand what actually you would have covered in your survey, literature review survey means. You should be very precise while writing the literature review. Now, just the things coming upon that we have gone through maybe 70, 80, 100, 200 papers for a literature review, depending upon the nature and size of your work, of your study. So there can be one of the suitable way from where you are getting this information can be stored on the same page. The source may be physical, that means books, magazines, journals, etc., or maybe it online. Don't worry about formatting. Simply copy and paste that link along with that content. That means along with that particular para which you have used for referencing. The benefit is here putting there that in case if you are transferring this content from one page to somewhere else, your source of information, that is your reference, will also be transferred along with this. Now, just putting an example, this is the temporary referencing which I have pasted on the page itself. Or second option I am having, that this can be put in the form of a footnote. Okay, footnote in next slide we will discuss. So this is the one of the source of information which I have included in my literature review, and this was the source through this that content was being taken care, copied upon. So here a study related to IPO, and this includes the study related to Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. So at the here itself, I have put it the source of information. Okay, this was this is as per the format. Here are the authors, is the year of publication and topic along with the any other information to be included. So what we are actually doing, we are adding temporary referencing. Actual referencing will come at the end of your work. So this is within the text. The plot where you are including this particular reference, the source is also been cited there automatically. Secondly, the second example you can again see some content has been there, and this content is also been, the source is also been copied and pasted in this particular segment. So I think this portion is clear up till now. Okay, let me continue. This is the another way. What I told you, that you can have insight content, in-text content. Some content was been here and this is the source of information. If you do not want to follow this pattern, then you can adopt the another pattern, and which is to be known as the citation. What is citation? It is the source of information through which this data, this content was being copied and included in our work. We need to provide credit to the source, and that's why the citation is been required. So first way I have already discussed. This is the second model, and where you will find this reference, the citations. So move to the reference section in your MS Office, Word, particular MS Word, or maybe some another software which is considered as a writing tool. Here, the various things, options are available. Just here you can adopt the style of citing. Bibliography comes at the end, which we are going to transfer this information in terms of bibliography. So not presently required. Here the citation, the source from where this information has been copied. So if you do not want to presently move ahead with this specific style, what you can do? The information can be considered as the part of footnote. Footnote is lesser related information submitted on the page so that it provides an idea about the additional information or additional learnings. But we are in the process of writing a review. So what we did, the original source from through the information was been collected, copied and pasted. Here we are in the form of footnote. Simply put a click at footnote and this information will be published here. So what we should do? We should always try to put the footnotes. How to organize your literature review? So there are the three ways through which you can analyze your review. The first one is the historical method. And the historical method, the event which occurred earlier will come first, irrespective to its content. It can be modified. So the initial study in this example comes in 1998, then comes 2007, then 2010, 10, 14, and so on. I hope you people are getting. So the first preference date will come first and then later dates. This is to be known as the chronological order. And this is very helpful once you are not having very clear information which you want to include in your work. Second, arrange the information in the chronological order. That means the event happening of the event will come last and the oldest event will come first. So what we are moving? We are moving from oldest to the newest. This is the one of the way. Okay, arranging the historical information. But as discussed earlier, that many times the current information is more relevant as compared to the previous ones. So in this case, what we can do, here we can include the current information and we can move back to the Big Bang theory in early 4,500 billion years ago. So this is the example I have quoted. There are some events occurred during these 4 years in the capital market. In 1992, Harshad Mehta scams come. 1994, Mexico crisis. Financial events I am talking. 1998, Asian financial crisis. 2001, Ketan Parikh scam. 2003, promissory notes issue, on which a tele-series is already been floated on the this Sony Live. You can watch Telgi one. Then Nirav Modi can be included, and many of the things are coming upon. Kingfisher, these are some of the events. So what we did, we moved in the chronological order, oldest to the newest. Secondly, you can follow the same process, but here you can divide the work on the basis of your objective, your hypothesis, sub-objectives, and it can be further classified as international studies and the domestic studies. So, to the previous example, in chronological order, you are having 45 reviews in your hand. Now, you can include all of the things as per the chronological order, irrespective the importance of the event, or you can sub-classify those things into as per your objectives, sub-objectives, some objectives, or any analytical tools to be adopted. This helps in simplifying the work. So you can see it on the screen that this work is divided into historical event, but there are two different parts, international evidences and then comes the Indian evidences, which is not included here. And here also oldest to the newest, 94, 2002, 2003 and 2003. So in the earlier slide, we were having the international evidences in chronological order. In the next current slide, we are having the Indian evidences in the chronological order. So this is the one of the way. Now, another more thing you need to remember is while writing a literature review or referring by using any of the sources, sometimes it might happen that some related information, the common views are coming through the various authors. Just like in this example, we are talking about the concept of book building in IPO. So how we've included this, we have clubbed the related information. Like concept of bookkeeping in the US, Europe, and some other countries has been discussed extensively by Henley and Wildham. So what we are saying that these are the following authors who have talked in detail related to the concept of book building. So not necessarily you should write each and every para for you should write paragraph for each and every author. You can consolidate the same information into one. So this is the way on your screen. Let oldest to the newest, and the name of the authors will come in this format. Our example, we are saying that the author is saying that several studies, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., bracket close, considers the FI as a positive feedback data, etc. So what we did, either we can start with the authors, or it can be included with the flow of your work. Sorry. The second way to organize literature review is with the help of the publication. It can be sequenced on the basis of published work in a chronological order. So the same thing, that most relevant information will be included first, keeping the lesser informations later on. The same example what I have discussed, that COVID disease used to be a new disease in the world. We need to undergo the various earlier studies, but this was a new disease, pandemic particularly, not a disease, it's a pandemic. So no studies talk about the COVID pandemic before 2020. No work will be identified. Secondly, but some connection has been related to some similar type of disease. So what the author did, or we should do, we should start with the latest 2020-22 based studies. Doctors survey can be there. We can move back and try to identify the related consequences of this disease. So I assume that this disease was been identified as the part of a malaria in the world. So this is an extension to the malaria. Malaria study you can find at least 100 years ago also. So related information coming first and then moving back. So this will create more interest of the authors. Third is thematic. The importance, the things which is more important will come first, and the things which are less important will come at the end. This is a summarization point, how to conduct a write a conclusion on the review. So I'm leaving this slide, next part slide. This is how you can include your work. A summary sheet can be prepared with the various authors, and it can be included in three parts. Number one, that is the study, outcome, method, anything. The study of the first author, or maybe the topic, and third is been extended to it. So this is some of the things which I hope you have already studied in the previous two lectures, and I have also touched upon the same thing. Now, best literature review tools for different papers. So the various tools are available for writing the literature review. But my final verdict, whatever the tools are available, try to write everything by your own. AI generated reports, AI generated tools are not acceptable. Even if you go with the paraphrasing, the softwares can identify and detect the online content or copied content. So what we should try to always be original. So what are the AI tools? This is how it is going to support us, but all the modern softwares will identify and match your work with the AI. And if things matches, then your paper may be rejected. So please go through the requirements very thoroughly. If they permits to use the AI tools, you use it. If they do not permit, then start avoiding it. You can include as a source of information. but not exactly what AI written, because it will be easily taken and taken care by the softwares. So there are many tools available. The few of us I have identified, and you can see the very first one on your screen in the random order, and that is the OTO. It is the AI research and writing partners. Here, for whom it is well suited, it has been suitable for all of them. It provides contents through online mode, try to identify your problem and to provide the solution to that problem comes under this software, that is the OTO. It helps us or them from getting the reading list to the first draft faster. So how it helps us? Basically, this tool help us not to go through all of your content. It simply provides you a way, okay, this is fun enough. Very recently, I have gone through a content reader with the help of the Google. Google has gone through my research paper and provided the solutions. These are the strength in your paper, Google. Okay. These are the strength of your paper where you have done excellent work and which is somewhat unique by nature. I hope you are getting. And at the second side, it will also report you are weaker in this particular segment. You should rewrite this content. And thirdly, if you wish, you can run the plagiarism checker through these websites. So even Google can support us too a lot. So how this website supports us? It collects a wide range of data sources from bookmarks, tweets, extensive books to YouTube videos. Then to extract key takeaways with detailed AI generated notes and source of information. So what is this tool is doing? It is trying to identify the source of information, generating the tools which can be taken away with the forms of notes, and then it can be presented in the form of questions and answers. So it can be suitable for the beginners, or whenever we want to start with a research paper, this facility can be suitable. Third part, create draft outputs using the sources you have collected. So this AI tool is helping us in three manners. Number one, collecting the data source, bookmarking the pages, then extract the keywords which is requirement with the help of AI generated tools. And thirdly, it also helps in creating the draft using the various sources we have collected. So what are those? That is AI generated notes on all bookmarks, YouTube, PDF, articles, etc. So this is the one of the source through which AI can helpful in generating the research, your literature review. Second is Science Open, an open alternative to paywall research. If we do not want to pay through Web of Science or Scopus, or the author says that even you have source the limited functioning of Google Scholar, even trying with any of the Science Open, you may not get the relevant information. So the scientific research engine is freely accessible with a visually appealing and functional design. The results are clearly labeled for publication type, number of citations, altimetric scores, etc. So Science Pro 1 is not only providing you or helping writing the review, but it is providing the other information, just like the number of citations you earn, or this paper has been cited by various authors. Both of the things are equally available. The next source is Semantic Scholar for AI research. It is helpful to access and analyze scholarly literature. Tool is designed to leverage AI along with semantic analysis to enhance research and unlock valuable insights from academic papers. So this is one step ahead. By using the semantic scholar style, you can enhance your research work. It is helpful for researchers in in-depth analysis. Once you want to get in-depth to your particular study, you can try with this semantic scholar research tool. But to my personal view, if I talk upon, I usually do not rely on such type of external sources. I still believe that human brains are the best of its kind. We should read the newspaper, or we should read the research paper as per our requirement, and then we should try to incorporate it, because you can better think upon and you can better present as compared to any AI generated tools. This is my perception. I may be wrong as per you, but this is what I think so. Fourth tool, that is the Research Rabbit. This is also one of the popular tool. It helps researchers to identify, to organize, and to analyze research papers. So it is helpful in three ways: finding out the suitable research paper, arranging your research work as per the requirement, and thirdly, analyzing the work so that it should be presentable, making it presentable. But it requires little bit of experience. It uses AI to scan the web for relevant scholarly articles. The AI-based tools also allows you to save and organize articles in your library. So this tool is very effective. How to proceed? We need to first of all create an account, then start searching research paper. Start searching by either your keyboard, keywords, topic, auditor, etc. Once you found the interesting paper, add them in the gallery and read out for your later time. All the time your online access has been not required. Next tool, Rayan Accelerate Systematic Reviews. It helps in reviewing the systematic research. A tool for a comprehensive research which involves identifying, evaluating, and synthesizing all the variable research to a particular topic. It provides you the quick view of the significant reviews, related reviews at the earliest. It also allows you to deduplicate, screen, and organize references as per your requirement. Even tools can be used to import references. So you can get your data copied from somewhere else to your own source. The next comes, that is a SciSpace, the research paper reading assistant. It helps users to find, read, and comprehend research papers. Identify, then read and comprehend. With a repository housing over 270 million research papers, SciSpace offers an extensive collection to explore. The highlight of Space is AI Research Center. So what you should do? We should try to go through such type of sources. Try with SciSpace, try with RAN. They all are good sources. The next tool is the Lens, which is helpful in searching about the literatures and the patents. This tool allows us for search for scholarly literature and patents. So till now, we did not get any source which is talking about the patent. So we can say that this can be exclusively considered for patent. From over 95 jurisdictions can be reached. The Lens is been Google Lens. I hope you might have ever used it. The Lens is run by the non-profit social enterprise Cambia. The search engine is free to use for the public, along with charges apply. for commercial use and to access additional functionality. So the Google Lens is also the one of the popular tool where it can help in identifying uh, the non-profit enterprises also. Scholarly generals. So Scholarly is an AI-powered journal which assists with academic reading. It can automatically summarize articles, create flashcards, and generate bibliographies. It helps us to identify, to rectify, to modify the required article. Next tool, ilcit.org. I may be mispronouncing this word. It is helpful in streamlining the research workflow. It is a top choice for researchers looking to streamline the process of extracting the content, organizing them, synthesizing them from the various sources. It empowers us, it helps us to deliver, to get into deeper into academic pursuits to uncover the valuable insights. So tool where you can try to extract the information. Then the next one is Citation Eco, visualize citations network. It is an open source web app that makes to discover relevant scientific literature that your average keywords based search engine for research papers. It works like this. First you upload about 5 to 6 papers. So how this site work? You initially put related 5 6 papers to the website and it will try to identify and provide you the results related to your work. So till now what we have learned that simply copying the material in the form of AI is not necessarily required, but these are the tools which is helpful in getting the related papers for us. Traditionally what we are doing, we have gone through one research paper in which there were 30 or maybe 25 reviews, literature reviews, maybe references. Again, we used to go to that particular reference, open that paper, try to read it out what they want to justify to show. And this is how we proceed manually. But here the benefit is you are already having a filter in your hands. By putting this filter, you can easily identify the related papers. Maybe international studies, national studies, and all these things. Besides that, I suggest that even if you are trying to use such type of tools, at least go through the original source of publication. It may be printed journal, maybe e-journal, or maybe any other journal which has been listed anywhere else. Try to go through for the authenticity of the journal. One another tool you can see that is Cite AI. It's also analyze the citations to the relevant field. Cite AI stands out as a popular literature review tool that transfers the research process for scholars. It provides the innovative citations base while providing the valuable insights. Researchers can make informed discussions when incorporating scientific articles with their work. So it can be considered as a little bit advanced tool. Once you are very firm with your work, so you can use this as type of site or source. Next source, 12th number, Distiller SR. It is one of the reliable tool trusted by researchers for its user-friendly interface and advanced search capabilities. These tools can quickly identify relevant studies from multiple databases. So this distiller can also be one of the effective tool where this source are unlimited and this tool try to gather those information from unlimited source and presenting you in the most filter mode so that you can save your time. REX, RAX, that is the Reading Assistant for Researchers. It is also AI powered tool which helps us to organize, annotate, and collaborated on research projects. It helps us for fine tuning your literature review, generating summaries, highlighting and comparing the ideas, sharing and discussing literature with your team. It helps to create different projects for research topics. Import articles, annotate them in the form of notes, comments, and get personalized suggestions for further reading. So see how much work has been performed by this site, RAX, Reading Assistant for Researchers. So these are the some of the suggestible AI tools which may help you in identifying and getting or making your work easier. But reliability, authenticity, that is a questionable. You can't always rely and claim that whatever the information furnished through this software is to be found related with. The source may be reliable, the source may not be reliable. Even the source may not generate, and it is being disclosed in the by the AI software. So be very precautionary while using such type of tools. And once again, the question comes because there are the plagiarism tools which are going to identify the AI sources, and they will put as a part of the remark that this content has been copied from this Falana resource. That is the AI tools. So this is the elementary part which I want to include in it. And there are some related additional sites, maybe citations and all these things. So amongst the participants, please let me know, have you gone with citations and referencing in your previous 2 days lecture workshop? Any participant, one can unmute yourself and let me know. Have you gone with the citations and referencing style in previous 2 days? Nobody is here. You can put your remark in the form of comment if are unable to speak. Have you gone through citations and all this styles? This. Okay. So I got a comment, yes. So I'm not touching then these things. You will learn how to cite the things. They are the one author, two author, multiple authors. These are the various referencing styles. This AI tool also help us a lot in generating the referencing, because earlier it used to be the very tedious task. Whatever referencing style you adopt as per your requirement of the journal, these tools can again help you to the certain extent. Even you can directly use citations or referencing. You can Google through and find it out the various citation or reference generating tools. These some of the very popular styles: APA, Chicago, Harvard, MLA, Vancouver. Then there are the sources how to refer it. This plagiarism, somewhat I have already discussed, so I'm not getting, as it has been not part of my today's session. Here I have included some of the ways that how to avoid plagiarism. So the only thing that we should always try to identify the original source of information, read carefully, write in your own words, and check through any of the plagiarism software. Free softwares are having their certain limitations, like 1000 words to the maximum search time, or maybe 1000 words on daily basis. You can use some paid softwares, Ubuntu and all these things. So you can even use that and identify the plagiarism. And there are certain plagiarism removal tools are available, which are also freely, again, limitation of 1000 words or 500 words. And then run through the softwares, licensed softwares. It is available with the university. You can pay some amount to the this library, and you can go through that plagiarism report will be generated. Check The level of plagiarism should not be more than 10%. Now, see, the maximum plagiarism comes in this chapter, that is the literature review only, because here you are not coming up with your thoughts. Actually, you are taking it from the other's mind. Now, once again, others' mind, if you read and write in the same similar manner, it comes under the plagiarism category. So, what you need to do, that is, you need to rephrase the sentence. Maybe just for an example, from a singular to plural, maybe first person to second or third person. Maybe normally it is when they are plagiarism, the things are written in the present tense, you can convert into the past tense. So by applying such type of techniques, you can overcome the plagiarism. Where the plagiarism can arise, it can be anywhere in all of your presentations, phrases, charts, diagram, table, map, photography, theory, models, quotations, where everywhere the plagiarism comes upon. Now, while running the software, you need to clarify. They ask that should be included, the inverted comma bracket item should be included or not. If you say yes, then it will be included. If you say no, then it will not be. So even if you are copying some content, please put it in the inverted comma. It will be identified as a plagiarism, but it can be taken care by justifying that we have already given a source to the content. You can use research management, reference management tools. Then we have already talked that you can use the various internet technology based tools for avoiding the plagiarism. And again, some of the mistakes we should avoid while writing the literature review. Do not go with very large sentences, large paragraph. Don't be very descriptive in the writing a literature review. It will create the boredom and unnecessary. It increases the number of pages under this chapter. The use of language, words should be very simple and clear. Use number of sentences, prepare, create number of sentences rather than writing the long sentences. To the similar ground, write in small paragraphs rather than the bigger paragraphs. What you can do, you can assign each and every paragraph to one citation. If you are talking about the views to the particular author, you can assign a single paragraph to that author with another source, another citation, third, fourth, fifth. So this will make your work more clear and understandable. Nextly, don't rely heavily on the secondary data which is available through online offline modes. Try to originate, go with the journal where the author has published their original paper. If it is a paid website, try to get it done through someone else who is having the access. If not so, you can send a request mail to the publisher. If not so, definitely this author would have published that paper on some another websites. Just like Google Scholar may be there, SSRN there, any other website it might be available. So there also you can go through and get the things. Don't adopt the interpretation made by the another authors like as it is of your own. You need to understand the context where the author was been talking upon. For us, the context may be somewhat different. So you need to read and understand in the adequate manner. So these are the some of the things which I would like to, I have covered in my today's session. These are the some of the resources. And thank you so much for listening patiently with me. And the session is open. You can unmute. You can put your queries to your mind. Yes, please. Participants. Deepa Sarnath has raised her hand. Yes, Deepa ji. Would you like to ask something? Okay, ultimately, try handling with some of the tools and do your research by yourself. You will learn more. but don't put your actual data, because these are the free tools available. We can't say that your data will be protective or not. It might be leaked anywhere, some another part of the world. It may be utilized by some another author in the world. So please very, very precautious while using such type of websites. Another two, three tools I have not discussed with you in the slide, that was this one. Like QLBot is also the one of the good tool. I have used this tool. It is free of charge, but the same thing, authenticity can't be just claimed. One more is PaperPal. You can also use this tool for generating the AI based. So there is some limited space available free of cost, and for otherwise you can go with the Prime membership. So many of the additional tools are available. One more tool I have through that is Jenny, Jenni. I don't know you can see it on the screen or not, but these are the also tools available. Yeah. Anything else from the participants?
I wanted to ask a question, sir.
Yeah.
For instance, I want to write a comparative analysis between three laws regarding the corruption. So, can I write the research paper interpreting those laws or a comparative analysis? Can I do?
Do you think that you have enough content, required content for just simply making a comparatively? If like section is enough, big enough, you
No,
can move it, no
I'm
doubt.
talking about the like. For instance, we have Prevention of Corruption Act. We have a Vigilance Commission. So it is almost everything is connected to corruption only. So lot of people has confusion regarding if the Prevention of Corruption Act is there, then why the rules like CCA and CCS rules are there, and what about the Lokpal and Lokayukt Act? So I wanted to conduct a study on these three things: rules, laws, and which should be approached first, or under which act or rules should be charged a person or a public servant.
Why don't you go with the case-based studies? What
Case
are
study.
the decisions been given by the various responsible, maybe courts? What I assume so.
Okay.
So accordingly, you can include this is the case when put over regarding the corruption, and
Okay.
these were the final verdicts. Now it can be a good source of literature paper, review paper. You can
Okay.
prepare a complete review paper. I have
Okay.
not included in my today's session. A
Okay.
review paper is somewhat little bit different, like a regular paper.
Okay.
Here, many of the things you are open, you can access a lot of information. You can be descriptive by nature. So
Okay.
many of the things can be included.
Review of literature. Yeah.
Review paper. In simple words, we used to say review paper.
Review
Under
paper.
review paper, you have more area to talk, to think, to put your ideas over there.
Okay. Okay.
To
Okay.
my research scholars, I always suggest that
Okay.
we should start with literature review. In
Okay.
the initial phase, I ask them to prepare a review paper, get
Okay.
it published, so
Okay.
we will have the broader idea. I'm talking particular for PhD students.
Okay.
Here our relevance may be somewhat different. What
Yeah.
you are having to put your query. So
Okay.
this is very, very helpful. Yes, surely you can do. But
Okay.
I, to my learnings, I say that you should go with the case-based study.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. Anyone else, please? So can we conclude, sir, ma'am?
So, shall we conclude now?
Yes, yes. Sure, ma'am.
For such an enlightening information. On behalf of
I'm unable to get the voice.
I'm so sorry. I
Okay.
was just out. So thank you so much, sir, for this enlightening and engaging session. On behalf of the Research Foundation of India, I want to thank each one of you. Firstly, sir, for the session, and to all the participants that we had today. You all were really great, and